Blog Talk Radio.
We had too many problems knocking at our door. We love the chaos, so they called us animals. Going the distance when they thought that we were full. We took our pebbles and we turned them into gold. Saturday, so Saturday, yeah, the message sent. We used to make noise on Monday through Friday with the pastor, but then on Sunday she make us repent. And I'm grateful for my melanin, and the diamonds, we want all of them. I'm used to moving on my friends, cause I can't seem to fit in. But with Saturdays I'll settle in. Thank you. Take it easy, don't choke. Open your eyes, stay woke. Yeah. This is a song I wrote. This is a song I wrote. 2 in the morning, fuck the time. Okay. Well, Saturdays I'll make it mine. We're in the hot seat and we're doing alright. It's about to put us in the limelight. Call a hotline, this is our time. Yeah. We about to blow this shit up like Columbine. If you like the tune, put it on repeat. We fell so many times and still don't know defeat. We had too many problems knocking at our door. We love the chaos, so they called us animals. Going the distance when they thought that we were full. We took our pebbles and we turned them into gold. Saturday, yeah, the message sent. We used to make noise on Monday through Friday with the pastor, but then on Sunday she make us repent. And the battle's never gonna end, but our front line's never gonna bend. We're strong. Family isn't blood if they don't really show you love, cause even family can be a friend. If I cut you and you bleed, what will I see? Will it be the same as mine or white supremacy? A place for all in the land of the free. Will I be judged by who I am racially? If I reached out my hand, would you help? Would you place my body on the top shelf? I only see us, there's no room for the others. You can always hate us and we'll still call you our brothers. We had too many problems at the door. We love the chaos, so they called us animals. Going the distance when they thought that we were full. We took our pebbles and we turned them into gold. Saturday, yeah, the message sent. We used to make noise on Monday through Friday with the pastor, but then on Sunday she make us repent. Saturday, yeah, the message sent. We used to make noise on Monday through Friday with the pastor, but then on Sunday she make us repent. And I'm grateful for my melanin. Yeah. And the diamonds, we want all of them. Saturday, yeah, the message sent. We used to make noise on Monday through Friday with the pastor, but then on Sunday she make us repent. Amen. Saturday, yeah, the message sent. We used to make noise on Monday through Friday with the pastor, but then on Sunday she make us repent. Amen. Saturday.
What's going on? You have tuned in to another episode of On the Move, Unscripted Ladies Roundtable Discussion on purpose, with purpose, on purpose, with purpose. And, of course, you know, we come on every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we always got some good stuff to talk about. Some days we're PG, some days we're rated R. But I feel like this is going to be a PG moment. But before I even introduce or really introduce the ladies in our topic for today, and I know y'all all on there, ladies, but I just want to first bring on the artist Shanae. No, Shawnee Chanel. Shawnee Chanel actually won our Atlanta Music Industry contest showcase. And she got all 10s from all the judges, 10, 10, 10. And these judges were industry professionals as well as other artists. So, Johnny Chanel, did I say it right?
Shaney, like long
name. I can't say your name right. Pray for me.
You gonna get it.
Shaney.
You gonna get it.
Say it again. Say your name again.
It's Shaney Chanel.
Shaney Chanel. So Shaney Chanel won the competition. I've been messing up her name, but I don't know. I need to tattoo it on my forehead or whatever. But so ladies, I wanted to introduce y'all to her because I know we're talking about love language, and she actually has an awesome song called "Time for You." That she did. So I just kind of wanted to introduce her, let her kind of do her, and her baby's birthday was yesterday, and she didn't get to shout them out. So I wanted her to shout out her baby's birthday, kind of introduce herself to y'all so that when you hear her song, which I'm going to play later on in the show, you'll know who she is, and that, hopefully y'all can support her. So, ladies, can you say hello to Shawnee Chanel?
Great, Rob. Thank you for being here.
Hey,
appreciate you for being here.
How y'all doing? Thank y'all for having me.
Good. How are you?
Good. It was a long day, but it's good.
I can dig it.
Tell them a little bit about yourself and where they can find your music and how you came up with the song "Time for You."
Well, I am a singer-songwriter from South Louisiana, New Iberia, Louisiana, the country. I'm doing R&B, neo soul, and sometimes I even tap into gospel, whatever God give me. He started me with this, and so I'm finishing it with him too. You can find me on all digital platforms at this point. With Shaney Chanel. It's spelled SHANI. SHANELL. Just Google Shaney Chanel and everything will pop up. My Instagram is _Shaney Chanel _ and Time for You. It talks about the independent woman. I know a lot of times we get this rap we just got everything on our own. We do everything on our own. But, those of us who have relationships, we have to understand the importance of making time for our significant other. And, whenever you a boss, you can make time at any time. And so that's what basically the song is about, being able to push everything aside to show your significant other that I'm riding for you. And I just want you to know how much being with you is important to me, that I put all of the stuff that I have to do to the side just to be with you. And that's how Time for You came about.
Yes, what's up?
I love that. So we usually start off by finding out how everybody's week is. So now that we have you on the line, we're holding you hostage for a minute. So first and foremost, tell us how your week has been, and then I'm going to go to the other ladies and find out how their week was.
God's been blessing. That's how my week been going. A lot of open doors. Doors have been opening. I've been balancing the having to have a job and trying to become a superstar. I've been balancing that. That's been kind of interesting, but it's been good. I mean, I won't complain. That's what it is. I won't complain about nothing because things could be a lot worse. But I feel like God has been having His hand on me, and everything been working out. So I'm gonna be content, and I'm gonna be happy in whatever the season is. That's where I am.
That's what's up. Okay, all right, man. So we're gonna go one by one as we always do. I believe that's Misty that I see. Misty, how was your week?
Hey y'all, actually my week is going good. I am actually better than I expected to be with all that's going on, in my life nowadays. My uncle's funeral was yesterday, and then my ex's is tomorrow. And but God is good, with the couple deaths that occurred and funerals and stuff, and with all the sadness and stuff going around, I am actually better than I expected to be. Ended up going to church this past Sunday and got prayed for and freed of all the depression and crying and all that stuff. So I'm blessed, because I thought it would drag out, but God is good. He gives us what we ask for, and He's a restorer. So He restored everything. I've been sleeping good. At first I wasn't sleeping, so He's just restoring everything that was lost and was taken, and all the stuff that I was giving away too, and since the 10th of the month. So, but I'm better than I expected to be. Only thing I can do is give praises to God. He's good, and ask and you shall receive.
Amen. Amen. Okay. Well, I'm definitely we're sorry for your loss, and I know that's tough to have, two funerals, family members in the same week. So, our heart and prayers go out to you, and I'm glad you felt good enough, to come on today, because I know, that's been rough on you. So I'm glad that, God is holding you and comforting you and giving you peace during this difficult time. Okay, so the next person on the list looks like Kimberly, Queen Goddess, King Advocate Kimberly.
There you go. There you go.
I can't see. Don't feel, Shawnee. Don't feel bad. I don't pronounce nothing right.
Especially when she done told you 19 times, it's Shaney. Long A.
Shaney. I still can't. I don't know why my brain will not process that A. I don't know what's wrong with me. So
it's
that's
a
why
long
I just call you
a long A.
Yeah, give her long A.
Right?
Long A. Shaney.
The A is Shaney is long A.
Shaney. Long A. Yes. She got that.
Yeah,
she got that capital A sound. You trying to give her that lowercase O? Shame.
I need to go back to first. I need to go back to first grade with the, get back in. I missed that class. How you week been, Kim?
You know what? It's been one of those weeks where I just have not wanted to be bothered, and I accept that. It's been. It's like, when you're going through some type of transition spiritually and you have to just sit still. I've been sitting still all week. And in my sitting still, I've heard a lot. Decisions have to be made, even as far as my career, what I've been doing since 2009. I'm thinking about not doing it. I don't think that, I don't know if I'm supposed to continue. Right, I know, right? I don't know if I'm supposed to continue in it, because that's where I've been. The past, it's been a minute. It's several months, almost been a year, but the past few months, I've really been considering not doing it. I need to be doing something else.
You talking about
massage
therapy?
Yes.
You talking about massage therapy? Oh, what?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. It's tiring, first of all, on so many levels. I love what I do. I really do. I think, though, the mobile part of it is starting to tire me out. So when I go to the office, I'm cool, but the mobile part is actually starting to tire me out. But we'll see. I'm not making any final decisions. I'm just listening, just being still listening. And I'm going through a physical detox. So if I sound like I'm congested, I'm not. But going through a physical detox, because I just paying attention to things, and I'm okay in my space. You know what I'm saying? When you're made to sit still, be quiet, and listen, you hear a lot, you learn a lot, you remember a lot, and you get prepared for a lot. So I'm just in that space right now. I'm not complaining about it, just acknowledging it. I have not wanted to be bothered with anybody. So I sit here. I go work and come home, and that's that. My day could end at noon. You know what I'm saying? If my client is done by 12 o'clock, I'm done. I come home, and I'm not going back out. Like, that's it. And I'm good with that, you know. But it's been good for me, so I can't complain.
Wow, that's big.
I got some of my merchandise back, though.
Huh?
I said I got some of my merchandise back. You know, I'm designing merchandise and doing my products and stuff, so I got some my hoodies back. The design got made up and all that, so I have those. I'm happy with those. So what were you getting ready to say?
What's your website?
It's My Wellness, MYOMY Wellness.com. MYOMY Wellness.com.
Okay, that's where they can buy your sweatshirts too?
Yes, sweatshirts, T-shirts, all kinds of stuff, jewelry, all kinds of stuff.
Okay. Well, I know that God will guide you, and you will know, you know, as far as what to do with your massage therapy, because I know everybody gets to that point where, you know, they think about changing careers, so it's not like it's abnormal. So I know God will guide you, but I'm glad in that you've had a week of peace, you know, and solitude.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would still be healing because I'm making the products. You know what I'm saying? Like that's major. They're still medicinal and they're spiritual products. So it's still in the healing. It's just not going to be a whole lot of me traveling to people doing stuff. Like if you want to come to the office, if not, it's questionable.
I definitely understand that because, like, being in the health field and being hands-on for all them years and then wanting to really, you know, still do, you know, the healing, the helping, you know, ministry type thing, but in a different way. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely understand when you get to that point where you're just ready for change. And that's, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. So I definitely understand that. So the next person on the list is R. Marie, I do believe. What's going on, R. Marie? How your week been?
Hey, sisters. All I'm saying is keep me in prayer. I'm at a different level of, and I'm normally a very happy person. I mean, as far as work and everything, my week has been, you know, it's work. It's the same. I enjoy my job, but I don't know, I'm experiencing some personal high levels of anger and festivity. You know what I'm saying? Like high. And I pray every day, in the morning, at night, throughout the day. And for some reason, it's not enough to sustain the anger. You know, I'm going through some things, and I'm like, well, you know what? I'm just going to let it go. You know, but you know how you want to let go and let God, but you're having a hard time letting go because it's just coming at you, and it's coming at me indirectly. But it's coming at me. You know, and I could be as sweet as apple pie, and I could be the worst bitch you have ever came across. And this person is taking me to that level. And it's been decades since I've actually been this angry, but it's like I'm about there. I'm about there to the point where I'm like, I don't give a damn if my freedom is on the line. You know, it's that's how bad it is. And I am usually the person that can turn things around. I'm like, you know what? If it don't apply, let it fly. You know, I'm usually trying to give the best advice and the best of everything. But, you know, I'm dealing with a situation where it's like, you know, I think you've watched enough action flicks and war movies where you can really go toe-to-toe with this person. You can go to war and you can win, you know. So, and I'm not that type of person. But I have it in me. I'm built for whatever that's coming towards me, and I've been warning this person, you know, you taking me on a level of almost of a no return, and I'm willing to die for what I believe in. So, you know, you keep coming for me, and you're going to get what you're coming for. And that's where I'm at with that. So, yeah, I'm pissed off this week. So I'll probably be doing more listening than talking. You know I'm angry when I'm chatty. So if I don't really have too much to say, that's because I am really deeply thinking negative and plotting negative things. So, Just keep me
I'm
in your
gonna
prayers.
need you to call me after the show, sis. I'm gonna need you to call me, girl.
Right.
I need you to call me with that counseling. I'm gonna need you to call me. It's on me. It's free. I'm gonna need you to call me though. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Because Anna Marie is not usually like that. She really is the peacemaker. Let's understand the glass is half full and not half empty type person. She really is. So here it is. Yeah, Anna Marie. After you can call Kim, then I need you to call me.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to have another show. Okay.
So, Dushon, who is, I don't see her popped up, but she gave the idea to talk about the show, What is Your Love Language? So before we go into our topic, though, I want to go ahead and play, let me say it really slow so I can get the A out.
Yes, long A.
Say me.
There you go.
That's it.
Long A. She did it.
I feel like I just delivered a baby. Say me, Chanel.
That's it.
And
I want to play her song.
I started with R. Marie. She didn't call me Roberta. She didn't call me Marie. It took her 4 weeks. For a month.
Okay.
I'm just not.
You have to understand my personality to understand what the hell is wrong with me. So please don't take it to heart.
Oh, I don't.
Okay.
I understand.
So we're going to play your song, Time for You. I would definitely like the lady to give her feedback on her song, and then we're going to slide into our topic, what is your love language? So this is Time for You. We'll be literally right back, like I promised, like right back. On the Move Unscripted, Ladies Roundtable Discussion.
Talking about our past and when we take it mad, then rewind it back. 'Cause baby, I got time for you. So tell me what you're feeling at this moment. Let me in. You said it gets deep, well I ain't scared. Love, let me swim. Minutes turn to hours. Look, the sun just rose again. And baby, we don't have to stop here. Just jump up in the coupe, catch a vibe and go real slow. Take me to the moon, I'm trying to see how far this goes. 'Cause I put everything to the side for you to show you how I'm right. 'Cause baby, I got time for you. I know I'll be on the go, but your love isn't comparable. You are the one, so baby, I got time for you. Baby, I got time. People calling every chance they get, but I'm picking up for you instead. You are the one, so baby, I got time for you. I hope that you could see just how much you mean. See how I pull the strings to get you close to me. I see us in our lane. How it's supposed to be, you bossing over me. So baby, I got time for you. This feels like the kind of love that I've been praying for. Your kisses keep me wondering what else you got in store. Look, I know you can teach me something I didn't know before. So baby, we don't have to stop there. Let's time about whatever, long as we stay up for sure. 'Cause I can get it on my own, but with you I'll get more. So I put everything to the side for you to show
You have tuned in to another episode of Ladies Roundtable Discussion with On the Move Unscripted, and that was Time for You. So what do y'all ladies think?
It's dope.
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah, I liked it that.
I did like it. It sounds like a really nice love song.
Yeah, definitely on the billboard. Indeed. Okay.
So
was that song written for someone in particular? Was the song written for someone in particular?
Oh, my husband.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah, my old man. He always inspired.
Was that your husband in the video?
Yeah, that was
your
him.
husband in the video? Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am, that was him.
That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up. So, in the discussion, I guess I'll start with you, Chanel. I will start with you. Tell us, what is love language to you? Like, and then I'll go down the list and everybody just kind of say what love language is to them, and then we'll just jump into the topic. So, what is love language to you? What does that mean?
Well, knowing the things that make me feel loved, like how to handle me as a person. Like personally, from my husband, I need to know like words of affirmation and quality time are my love languages. Like spending time with me and just making me understand or feel like I need to feel the love. I need to know it. Express things to me. Affirm me. I only want it from him though, because I don't. We together all the time. I always share energy and space with you. I don't care too much about the opinion of other people, but I care about the opinion, how God see me, and I care about how you see me. So, affirming me helps me when he affirms me.
Okay. That's what's up. All right, so I'm going to go back up and start off where I started at. So, Misty, what is love language to you?
My love language, what it means to me is consistency. Don't just tell me, oh, I love you and, really show me and be consistent with it, That's what love language means for me, consistency and showing me as well.
Oh, okay. So,
Right to the point.
What about you, Kim? What's love language to you?
For me, it would be the communication in truth. I always tell you that love is the application of truth. So to communicate in that language where it's understood and reciprocated is the language, where it's understood and reciprocated. And the truth is the foundation on both ends. Self-truth is what I'm speaking of, self-truth. Then the language is mutually exchanged. There's no error. There's no misinterpreting, misunderstanding. It is exactly what it is. And it, like Misty was saying, is consistent regardless to the circumstances. Like that remains the same no matter what. So it would be factual. That would be simple. It would be factual.
Okay. So how about you, Marie? What's love language to you?
I feel like when you have respect for one another, you may not agree with what your spouse or your loved one is doing, but at least you could respectfully disagree. Also, communication. I've always found it to just be the sweetest when you're talking to a couple and they get to talking, or one of the couples, like say the wife may say something and the husband could finish the sentence and they just look at each other and smile. Just that endearing, genuine look. So, I mean, I just feel like that's when you know this person this person is your best friend. You trust them with everything, your everything, as far as your earthly needs and dealings. And if you have an issue, I mean, of course, you may talk to your girlfriends or your mom or, somebody that you trust. But the fact that you can go to that person like, I love you, and this is what I'm having a problem with. And that other person is like, oh, baby, I never even realized that was a problem, but let's work. When you see, communication is key. If you don't have communication, or if you sneaking things past somebody, I mean, that starts to open up the beginning of a lie. So when you keep things truthfully, and when you're honest and you communicate and you have respect, then you should always have a lasting relationship.
Right, I agree.
Yeah.
So for me, love language, I'm an affectionate person. Like, I like hugs and kisses and great communication, but I'm a touchy. Like, I like to hug and I like to kiss. Like, when you come home, I like that, kiss. Hey, how your day been? I like that touching, the touchy feeling. I like affection.
Right.
A lot of my past relationships, when I tell the man that I'm in a relationship with that I crave affection, they automatically assume that means, sex. But there's other ways of being affectionate other than just in the bedroom. So I like affection. Definitely communication is a must, because if we can't talk, there is nothing, because I talk a lot. So if I'm talking to myself, that's the problem. I like tokens of affection. I like action. I like actions, and I like the words. I like the whole thing. But to me, I'm a very affectionate person. So I don't want to always be the one that has to initiate the affection. Like, I would love some, just come and hug me, or just, kiss me, or be the initiator. Don't let me have to always be the one to initiate. Like, I just like affection. That's my love language. I'm very affectionate, and so I like to know that you love me. I like to hear that you love me. I like to feel that you love me, and I like for you to do things to let me know that you love me. And I like good communication. That's me. It looks like we have Dushon on the line. What's going on, Dushon? You came in right on time.
Hi, ladies. Hi, my lady.
Hey.
How is everybody? Thank you for thinking and texting me, because, I'm in transition, get ready to get on the road, but I'm not yet, so thank you. So I immediately called in. So, hi. And
hey. Hey, boo. So tell us how your week has been, and then tell us how your week has been,
okay.
And then tell us what's your love language, because that's where we're at now. So tell us how your week has been, and tell us your love language.
My love language? Okay. So my week, I've been in Atlanta, so it's been good. Yeah, being able to come and stay and visit with, friends, and it's been awesome. So I've had an opportunity to go here, get some good food. So I always enjoy my time here. So I would have to say it's been peaceful. I've been getting work done, and so that's that. And then my love language. When you mean what's my love language, what do you mean?
I mean, like, what is love to you? What is it that? I mean, you're the one that initiated this conversation. What was you thinking about when you said what is
I know. Okay. But it depends on where you want to start. So my post was the reason for that post for me was because I was experienced, and this is family, so I'm going to talk about family. I was just experiencing hearing I love you, and then the actions don't reflect that. Mm-hmm. Whether it be for me, it would be more of a manipulation type thing. And it's like, okay, if I don't agree, or if I choose to do what I want to do in my own space, or whomever I want to do it with, was getting, it was kind of like I had to, I don't know, how do I want to say it? It was always something said in the manipulation. Then it turned into other things. So I was like, how can you say you love me, but then your actions don't show it? Right. Or your words don't show it? No. So that post, that's where that post came from, because it's not in what you say, it's how you treat me. And that goes for me too. Right. It's how I treat people, because I can say I love you, but if I'm not treating you right, then you're going to recognize that. You're going to be like, okay, well, I don't feel love right now. So let's address this. So that's what that post was all about. Now, the question, to answer your question, what is my love language? What do you mean? Like, are you meaning how do I show love?
I guess how do you show love, or how do you like receiving love? Like, I guess in that sense we're talking more romantic, but I definitely want to get into the family part of love, because that's deep.
Okay.
But
so
we
talking about what's my love language, meaning what are my expectations from a man?
Yes, like with a partner, like with your partner.
Okay, is it my expectations from him, or is it a mutual thing?
Girl.
Or I mean,
listen to a test.
No, but I want to give you the right answer. Am I doing too much? But I want to give you a bit. Okay. All right. Okay. So
does your love language change depending on who you're talking to?
Huh?
Yeah. Does your love language change? Does your love language change based on who you're talking to?
Absolutely. Okay. So, of course.
Okay, so that could be a problem.
Yeah. Well, but it's still whomever it is will still know that I love them, but I may have to show, like, I'm going to show love to my daughter differently than I show love to a partner. Or if you're talking about just okay, so if it's just a partner, no, it should not change. No, it should not, unless I'm loving the wrong person.
Well, I'm asking it based on it there being a difference between love and affection. So, of course, I wouldn't, expect you to have the same type of affection to your daughter that you would a boyfriend. That we have to have.
Okay, I better not.
As far as love is concerned, that thing should look the same way regardless of the situation.
Okay.
But if you're saying that it changes, changes for you.
Yeah, no, it should not change based on it should not change. No. Because
so how
still,
would a person, period, that says they love you, be they your parent, be they your sister, be us, be it a lover, whatever, if we're saying we love you, what does that look like to you? How do you know that?
Oh, wow. Man, I know by what's been invested in me from them. I know the consistency. I know the accountability. Mm-hmm. And I know basically if it's a consistency in my life, mm-hmm. if it's a consistency with those things, that's how I know, because I'm looking at, I've experienced unconditional love. And despite of whatever went on, I know I could count on that person, and vice versa, me as well. And it was a consistent, no matter what took place, whether we cried, laughed, fussed, slammed the door, didn't talk a week, we always came back to to that center of, you know what, whatever the need was there, you know, I'm getting what I need. I'm getting fed. They're getting fed, but we're still loving each other. They're still growing.
Right.
I know I can count on that person. It ain't always what I want to hear.
Right.
It's what I need to hear.
Right.
And
absolutely.
And then just being able to trust and depend on that person. Like I was always in growing up, if there was, you know, so those like my grandfather, my grandparents, or my mom and dad, if they promised something, if they said something, they did it. It didn't have to do with money. It didn't have anything to do with money. I knew that if it was said, if they were going to do it, it was going to get done. I didn't have any like, no, it didn't happen, or no, they didn't show up. So I kind of, you know, so that's a part of love.
Absolutely.
Commitment,
that's common.
Consistency.
That's been a common answer.
It's constant.
Yeah.
And then in a relationship, now I'm gonna throw it out there. Here we go, and we ain't got to be in church, but if we as women wait on God, wait for that man, then we know that whoever God appoints over us, they're loving us through God's eyes. Mm-hmm. And I think the love that we're really looking for has to be channeled. God has to be in the center of that. He has to be in the center of that. Now, that's just me. So, and then what example do I have for that is my parents.
Yep.
That are still together. And I'm not talking about my biological dad either. My biological dad passed away. I'm talking about my father that's not my biological father, but is my father. I saw that be an example in front of my parents the whole time I was from small to I walked out the house.
So I'm curious, do you think that men and women have different love language? I'm curious. Like when you ask a man, and I wish we had a man to call in, but I'm curious because all of us are women, and most of the things as far as an intimate relationship, a man and a woman relationship, we're all talking about the things that is love language to us. I know I said affection. I think I heard communication. Consistency. Yeah. But I'm wondering.
Absolutely.
What are men's love language? Like, what is love language to a man? I'm curious because sometimes I feel like what our love language and what we crave. Most of us say communication. I can't think of too many women that communication is not on the top of the list. You know what I'm saying? But I just wonder, what a love language is to a man, because a lot of times it seems like for instance, like I was saying, when you tell a man you need affection, he's thinking, oh, she must be horny. You know what I'm saying? But that's not what we're saying.
I think it depends on who you're talking to. I think it depends on who you're talking to. I think everybody is, people have different experiences. They're in different places. They have different definitions. And when you talk about communication, and this is going to me, what I learned, we don't even know how to properly communicate.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we're starting somewhere where it's really not it's so many variables. So, but when we say communication, I'm learning just in the past this year. It's like people really don't know how to communicate.
If we have any men that's listening right now, if there's any men, I just want to say this real quick. If there's any man that's listening, please call in.
Yeah, we need to hear.
387-1247. That's 516-387-1247. Because I'm really curious to hear what a man would say about their love language. Or Kim, I know you're doing a live right now, Kim. Kimberly McCants is doing a live on her page, and I know you got some men because they love Kim.
Oh
you know what I'm saying? Kim is Queen advocate. You know what I'm saying? Queen goddess, Queen advocate.
Queen.
So I know there's probably about like 15 men, on your live. Can you ask one of them to tell you what their love language is, or ask them to call in?
Well, I will say, even though I'm not a man, but I do know that since most men are logical thinkers, like everything that we have mentioned as women, and it just came off the top of our tongue, was an emotional feeling. But, like, I remember early in our marriage when my husband and I were having some issues and we were in counseling, and they had kind of brought that up, and they said, well, what is, how do you tell your wife you love her? He said, she knows I love her. Making sure that the bills are paid on time, making sure we have lights on, the food, And he were thinking of terms of being a great provider, which he was. And making sure that making sure that he's taking care of the family, and things like that. But some men, and just depending upon which generation, because things are so different and there's always changes every day. But a lot of men weren't really raised to be like, oh, honey, I love you. Oh, honey, I love you. You know what I'm saying? But watching some of the older men in my family with their wives, I mean, that you saw the love. The wife kind of did whatever they want, had their way, and they made sure that they were happy. But I never really heard it because, back in their days, they had to struggle and everything together, just coming out of that era. It was struggle there. So the man had to go out, whether he worked one job, whether he worked two jobs, whether he had three jobs to make sure his family can get by. But men, I mean, now you have men to be like, I love you, and it's affectionate. And as sweet as it is, because I like holding hands and all that stuff too, but, not every single second. It's not necessary for me to do that every second. Like, okay, babe. Okay, but, oh, babe. Or for a prime example, my last friend, we'll be out in public and, like, he'll think like, you make my son, and to me, he said, well, I was trying to show you affection, but trying to sing at the top of your lungs where everybody's turning around and you don't sound nothing like Usher. Yeah, I mean, you making comment like, yeah, it was cute, it was flattery the first time, but like tone down, like I don't need it like that. So men definitely think of love and how love affects us and how they, what love means to them. It is different because we are different. We are totally two different creatures divided by species, from the genetics.
Yeah.
Men, I mean, they love you, but they still are logical thinkers. So they may not say it, but like, how can you not think it?
Right. And as you were talking, I was thinking of, I don't know if you guys watch The Mans, Tamala Mann and her husband, the show that comes on, The Mans. Does anybody watch that?
No, but I do need to.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
I loved it.
I said the top one. No, you're not.
Okay.
You're going to ask.
Well.
That's
Anyway, they were. He was Mr. I'll call him Mr. Brown. He was counseling his daughter and her husband because they were having some issues in their marriage about affection. And Tamala's husband said, well, the beginning of their marriage, he said, I am not an affectionate person at all. And most men aren't. But he said, when I saw the reaction of what it was to hold my wife's hand, and I saw how that made her happy and safe, or she loved it, he said, then I started doing it. It wasn't a problem. So sometimes as men, I'm a very affectionate person. I need affection. I start crying. I need a hug. That's just my makeup. That's me. I'm a very oh, that's a Pisces. Yeah, I'm an affectionate person. I need affection. It's like, especially when you're talking about from a man, And not only on a sexual level, it just feels safe. It just feels safe to me. So when your husband or significant other sees that is something that makes you happy, I think he'll do it. But if you got somebody, I mean, he's going to do it. But then again, for men, I think for men, they need to know that they are that they cover us, and we feel safe in that, and they're respected.
That part. That is a man's love language.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
Is love language. Men need to be respected. Women want to be loved. Men need to be respected. And not to cut you off, but before I leave my thought,
you go ahead and take it.
That men, and it's just my opinion, that their love language is, like I said, it's a respect, but it's where a woman is more emotional in the love language. The man is more egotistical in his language.
Right.
And
absolutely.
I'm not saying egotistical in the point, it's not necessarily a negative thing, but it's how does it make him feel about himself.
It feeds him.
It's about that. So if he's receiving the respect that he needs, then that equates to love. If he can look at himself and be validated based on the behavior. Hold up. If he can be validated based on what is being given to him, what is being shown to him. I'm talking about from the woman as her emotional part being respect toward him, then he's good. He knows he's loved because he's receiving what he needs, which is the respect. If you respect him, you love him. And a man will tell you that I don't need you to love me. I need you to respect me.
Respect me. That's right.
That's their language.
So I went and grabbed a man because me call in. So Kenny, can you please tell as a man, what is love language to you?
Yeah. Would y'all please call in? I have posted the number 516-387-1247 for you all to call in.
Yeah. So
call in and express what love language is to you as a man in particular. We want to hear from the fellas. So please call in to the station 516-387-1247 and tell us what your love language is or what love is to you as a man. Please and thank you.
Okay, so Kenny, tell them what love language is to you as a man.
Like for me, it's like more like, just how the way, like you say about respect. You have respect for somebody, but you want respect from somebody else. But then when you do for somebody, you want that same thing to come in return. So when you're doing something in a relationship, that's when you can love your children, right? You can love a woman, or whatever your situation may be, or whatever situation is. But when you taking care of that situation, you got to handle it like accordingly. Like more like when it comes to respect, you got to understand each other. If you don't understand each other, you're going to have problems all the time.
So do you think that a man's love language and a woman's love language is different? Like for you and I, do you think that for what I asked for as far as love and what you want as love, do you think there's a difference between our love languages?
I mean, but it should though, right? I think it should. Like,
so it should be different.
It should be like, yeah. So then you make those kind of like those things together and make it to be a love language like that. Like, this is what you like, or this is what I like. We talk about those things and make it together. Our language is like, okay, if it intertwines together, that's why they get married.
Because their love languages match.
Right.
Or
I mean, that's why I see it that way.
Complement each other.
Right, yeah, it complements
they
each other.
They need to complement each other. Yeah. And them being different makes it balanced.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
When they're exactly the same, it doesn't leave room. It doesn't leave room for anything if they're exactly the same. Like you can't grow if it's the you know what I'm saying? Like as a couple, if it's the same exact thing, there's nothing. What is there? There's nothing left. There's nothing to look forward to. There's no going past this point because I'm giving you exactly what I need for myself. So I don't have anything else that I can even give you. So when you have different love languages, it allows the other person to be more
to learn more different things about that person than if you love it or not.
But I understand what you mean by if you both have the same love language, that there is no room for growth. Like I don't know if I understand. Explain what you mean by that.
I can answer that. I had a friend that me and him both was craving love and attention and affection and all that, and me giving it to him, you know, and him not reciprocating, and sometimes he would, sometimes he wouldn't. It was like we were clashing, you know. Like, I need love and affection just as well as you do, like, and you have to have that balance, and that's not balance when you're both craving the same exact thing. How can you show me and give me some other than what I need, and how can I show you and give you some other than what you need? We're not learning anything from. We both are craving the same thing, and we're clashing. I don't know if you can understand that, but it brings
you're not.
Like friction,
But then you're not speaking the same love language.
Right.
If there's friction, if there's clashing, and if what you crave and need for love, and what he craves and needs for love, if the two of you are not doing the same thing, then what is the clashing means that you're different. The clashing means that your love language is not the same.
It doesn't.
What I'm saying is, we're both craving the same thing. And, you know, me, myself personally, I give more than I receive. So I'm like, well, are you going to show me some affection? Like, come on now, like, it's your turn, you know, like, and he's like, no, you know, and I'm like, you know, that you receiving, go ahead.
Yeah, I think the concept of language needs to be identified. Most people dive into these paradigms and these constructs kind of immaturely, just based off of how you developed as a youth. It's designed off of a distorted form of gratification that you learn from your stewards, rather it's your concept of parents, guardians, older siblings, aunties, uncles, whatever the case is. You learn how to play love through manipulation as a young youth. And as you develop yourself, growing into your own fundamental skill sets, you start out basically just practicing out techniques that you really don't know if they're going to work. And as you develop and get older, you've already adopted how you didn't get accepted. And basically it's a distortion. So the concept of love, everyone has their own perspective of it, number one. Number two, if you have an attribute that you give, you can't expect that in return because that may not be their attribute. And so if you're going to be the sun or the wind, shine, blow. But if you think that the moon is going to try to act like the sun, then you're going to put yourself in a conundrum, you dig? So the concept of love, you have to just be responsible that you think that you want to play along with what you heard before. Otherwise, just create your own concept and stop trying to use that vibration, because the way that you heard about it, no one in the discussion has real ability to perform it. Everyone has their own sensation built up out of like, dislike, and most of that stuff is fed to you in an awkward way. And as you try to demonstrate it, you don't really have a playing field to stretch out on correctly. Nobody really has a love dojo, so everybody's training really sucks. And so when you get involved with the hims and the hers, you're really playing games. You want somebody to like you for being false, and you'll grow it, and they'll get along with it because 9 times out of 10, your concept of love has got to be introduced on a physical frame. And because everybody knows how the physical works, if you don't manage that correctly, then all the rest of the sounds are just going to collapse with the rest of that practice. So really, love is a concept that you must master of self. And if you want to share it with someone else, have no expectations. Because if you do, you're going to negate why you think you love. And if you love for somebody else to love you, that's going to be a weird action, because everyone has been misled all the way up until this point. Whoever thinks that they can talk or hear, you know how you got here. You know how you got here. And it's always a good exercise to get inside the mirror and just kind of see yourself and just know most people are just professional liars and manipulators. And once you learned how to say this sound, you never had anybody to really practice it with. So at this stage, let the fantasy part go because it's made up, and then just create what it is that you want to experience. And just keep in mind, you've been through so many bodies in your world, unless you're just now starting to play love out loud. You've been through a lot of different practices. So you got a lot of mixtures of corny shit wrapped up inside your psyche. And that's how it all plays out. But at this stage, since you're getting a new sheet of paper, considering the 2021 leaf is about to fall upon you, just attack it with intelligence. If you bring your memory along, you're still going to have the same dialogue. It kind of sounded corny, manufacturing weird sound bites to aid how clumsy people like to participate with the sound, knowing they don't have the skill set because you never really train it. You go in it with expectations, and you're going to manipulate whoever you think you're sharing your version of love with. You're going to try to manipulate that outside of you if you don't think that it's translating what you're doing. And you don't know how to speak clear enough for anybody to really relate with you 100%. So they're going to go with what is gratifying. And the moment the gratification starts dwindling, so does the concept of love.
Exactly.
We get a lot of our love language from like television, like we see those love stories. You know, we all have seen those love stories. Do you think that a lot of us take that as our reality? Like that's the type of love I want, and then we push that on our partners.
Who you asking?
Well, don't all answer at once.
I thought you were talking to Mr. Stout.
No.
Say the question again.
So,
say the question.
Do you think that I'm gonna say women, because women, like Misty said, we're definitely a lot more emotional. Or was it Marie?
No, you're not. You're not. Hold on. You're not more emotional. You're not more emotional. Let me tell you what it is. Everyone has heard a paradigm about yourself. First of all, if you think you're black, you can already see how crippled you already become. But let's just move a piece a little bit further. Each paradigm that you never mastered and you grew an expectation about is going to show exactly how you play it out. You have no muscle memory to be skilled at the dialogue, so it always is going to have a certain debate to it. So in theory, the way you think you learned about love, you didn't. You saw some scripts. You never saw it, especially if it wasn't in your home. And if they didn't explain to you what they were doing in the concept of it being love, then you just took the impressions of whatever the case is. It's all made up. So at this point in your life, let your childhood thing go. You're an adult. You've already done your physical practices. Now, just be responsible about what you want to create. It's very simple at this point of life. You just look at yourself and you be honorable. Some of us think that we deserve things that most people can't give us. We're biased people. We're judgmental. Your body might be shaped funny, so they can only like you for how well you write. They might not really love you for your body or something. It's all type of variables. You might have a sexy body or something, but your mind don't function in this totality because you got raped and molested mentally, physically, emotionally, all these type of things. You try to be in so many different peer groups. As far as women go, think about the different identities you try to become in order to think you exist. And the same thing happened for the him version. Now you got it mixed up, so hims don't know if they want to be hers and vice versa. And you got all these things, and they're trying to use the word love as the definition for manipulation, perversion, aggression, attacking, abortions. You know what I mean? Because people can abort you in real life. You know what I mean? You don't have to just be aborted as a baby. You get aborted just for saying hello. You know what I mean? Sometimes you get aborted into life. You dig what I'm saying? So a lot of us hit the planet because the people that we get to call parents or whatnot, they were just reckless kids. Like, you had a chance to practice yourself out. They didn't know that you was going to really exist. They had to learn how to tolerate you. They probably really didn't ever love you. They just learned how to tolerate you because they didn't want to get ridiculed in their peer group or in their family group. So they tried to create a little situation for you. Probably didn't nourish you like you think you wanted to be, but gave you all that they probably could. It all depends on how you put your lens on. The reality of it is, right now, for any adult that's asking these questions out loud, all you got to do is look at self and decide how you really want to show your love. And that's all you can do is be your best example. If you take it in there trying to think you're going to get something back for it, you're going to get devalued because don't nobody see it like you see it. It's real simple math. I've done it for people. It's been done at me one way or the other. You know what I mean? You can think that you building these rapport, and that should have vanished once somebody thinks something different. So do you stop loving because they changed their mind? And that's normally how it works. All of a sudden, you can't love. It's a very weird process, and if you don't acknowledge how you practice it every time you've attempted it, knowing it was distorted out the gate, knowing you had to dress it up, make it up, fluff it up, tuck it up, wrap it up, all these little weird things. Like, look at this shit's for real. And then think about just being healthy. You know what I mean? Because most people don't even know how to like themselves, let alone play love. Like, how did you get it? It's just the sound that you once heard. The demonstrations you saw pilgrims perform ain't nowhere near your scholastic performance. It's nowhere near it. You feel me? You try to mock the sounds. You try to, all the shit is made up. So now, since we know it's made up, do you want to keep copying what's made up or be a responsible author and create the concept of love that you want to experience? That's really it. And to perpetuate it beyond that is just trying to keep stirring up the silly shit. The answer is be responsible for what you're trying to create. That is the answer.
Who is this? Is that Mr. Stout?
No, that wasn't Mr. Stout.
I thought that was Mr. Stout the whole time. Oh yeah, he good.
That was really, really good. That was really, really good.
Yeah,
but you didn't answer my question. Do you think that we pull a lot of our ideas of love from television?
Oh, I just told you that. Your whole makeup is from that concept. Your whole makeup is from TV, magazines, your girlfriends, your grandmother, your auntie, your cousins, your uncle, your fake friends, the paradigms that you think fit how you think you exist. You try to mimic that stuff out. It's all a mimicking thing. No one has it down pat. No one has it down pat unless you create your own step and you honor it. That's it. The ones that stay responsible for what they're creating, the ones that take responsibility for their fingerprints, for their footprints, no accusations, pure acknowledgement, those are the ones that have fun. Everybody else that's trying to mimic and act like you want somebody else's life and lifestyle and the way, you're never going to get that. You're never going to get it. It's like trying to be somebody else's weight. Just because you saw them wear a dress, you think you should wear that dress, and it don't go together. It's all psychological. And if you don't acknowledge that mentally you've been taken advantage of on so many levels and that you've tried to force yourself inside of so many paradigms and constructs that you did not. It's purely trying to be a part of something that you thought maybe if it's like, chill, people. You're about to get ready to have enough in the right questions. The reality is be responsible as the author. Otherwise, honor that you consume things you create. And you shouldn't complain because you just like to consume. It's very easy math. If you want to love somebody, then you love them. Like I told my son, I love my son. My love for him is nothing like his mother's. Nothing. Because the love that I have for my son, I made it up. First of all, I got to love a man. I ain't never really had to love no man per se. You feel me? And this type of love ain't got nothing to do with intimacy. It's nothing to do with intimacy. No touch, nothing of that. It's just an admiration for knowing that I want to share such a valuable resource of my mind, spirit, and energy based off of this is my responsibility because I created this thought. It's my thought. So I get to invest the best thought of what I think love is going to be. And we demonstrate it just based off of, I don't want cheating. I could beat my son up easy. Why would I do that? I want to love him. And so this is what happens with people. And when it comes with men and women, a lot of times women think love has something to do with their pussy. And I'm going to tell you, actually it doesn't. Actually, it has nothing to do with that. And that you go into relationships thinking, I'll give you some pussy if you love me back. That's where you're going to come into a real clumsy exchange rate. You feel me? You're going to get taken advantage of, all types of things. And you'll never be able to identify yourself when you speak that way. And unfortunately, most women, as men, we've all learned how to speak sexually. And you think that mocking out the sound love is going to define that you're inadequate with how you perform your reckless recreation. It's a very weird paradigm that people have a tendency to not be able to acknowledge. But in reality, we're all experiencing the choice you make. Unless you've been raped, unless you've been molested, it's a choice you're making. And you think the way that you're about to walk it, that's your love, rock it all the way out. But you know that's not what you're doing. You're testing. You're playing little scenarios. You're doing antics. And you want somebody to invest their full concept while you're playing around trying to see if you're going to really distribute or part with or whatever. It's like, knock it off. Before you try to love anybody, take an opportunity to just look in the mirror. Just look at yourself. Not what you're dressed up in, but look at yourself. And then be honest enough to tell yourself, self, you are a professional liar and manipulator, and you're good at it. And the moment you acknowledge that of yourself, then you'll figure out how to love. But until you acknowledge that of yourself, you're going to continue playing shenanigans out loud, causing other people to think that something's wrong with them because you don't have an adequate approach to trying to share yourself. You feel me? It's simple. It's simple when you slow it down. It's just simple. Be responsible for lying, manipulating. Ladies, be responsible for how you pump up your titties, poke out your ass, put all that shit on your face, how you put the weave in, the extra lashes, draw on your eyebrows, all this weird shit. You want me to be attracted to you. Okay, what part of it do you want me to be attracted to? And then what part of that am I supposed to love? Because if I love it and you take it off and put it in the trash can or switch it up to another color or whatever, then I'm going to be like, come on, Lope. What was that? What was that? I'm going to get you some suckers. I'm going to get you some suckers. So it's really,
if putting on makeup or a whole bunch of makeup, lipstick, eyes, all the stuff that you mentioned, if you love the person with it, if you truly love the person, you're going to love them with it all on, or you're going to love them without them wearing it. So I don't.
No, Star, don't gas yourself. You're intelligent. No, don't gas yourself. Don't gas yourself. Don't even do it. You're too grown. No, feel me. Don't gas yourself. You are an intelligent species. If you feel you need to disguise yourself to be admired, then accept that's what you're doing. I can't do this without these disguises, homeboy. You're not going to notice me without these disguises. I need to put this on to embellish. Otherwise, what's naturally acceptable with your eyeball, you're going to be more drawn to that. So keep in mind, you're trying to match something that you think is. Go ahead, because what you're about to say.
We're talking about
what you're about to ask.
We're talking about somebody that you love. not just somebody you're attracted to. So when you are talking about somebody putting all that stuff on, that's an attraction. That's a physical thing. But we're talking about love that goes beyond the outer shell. So if you love someone,
I hear what you're saying. But if you got to be honest, in order to even think that you can get into that space, you must first identify the parts that will help you get into that space. Get your charger. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this whole beyond, like, it's all made up. Your paradigm right there, you probably the only one that can say that the way you're trying to say it right now. And somebody else is going to say the same words and say a whole nother language, using the same words you pulling from. Because everybody only know how to use is, the, was, as, to, for, cause, and all that. You're not saying nothing no different. It's how you perform your best self at your best self. It has nothing to do with nobody else. That's the whole thing. That's what I'm trying to share with you, beloved. If you're trying to amp yourself up thinking somebody's going to notice you, you're probably going to remain invisible. Or you got to put the disguises on to get noticed. It's we've been gassed. You followed the lead of some parasites, unfortunately. And we all have. We all got addicted to playing the role of the parasite, meaning the pilgrims, meaning those white people, meaning whoever. This is who taught you how to think that you want to think that you're in love. This who painted your pictures for you. This who taught you your holiday, right. All this little weird stuff that you adopted. Right. So until you relinquish how you practice those things, until you acknowledge that you are even addicted to the sickness, the way that you are, like you're in love with the sickness, it makes sense to you because you use it at your easy whim whenever you don't want to agree with something. You see what I'm saying? So, it's trying to regurgitate sounds that you heard, knowing that you ain't got no muscle memory, because if you had the muscle memory, you wouldn't have a question. You would just perform what you know is.
Okay. And I respect what you're saying. But the love that I'm talking about, because I understand the love you're talking about, but the love that I'm talking about goes beyond. The love that I am talking about is the love that goes down to the spirit man, because you know the body ain't nothing but a shell anyway. I'm talking about the spirit man love. The love that you will love this person. You gonna let me tell you? So the love that I'm talking about is the love that you will love this person, whether they are dressed up and looking fly or they're vomiting on the side of the road. The love that I'm talking about is the love that you will take care of this. You'll be happy to cook for them or whatever if they're walking in the house, or you'll still be happy to cook for them if they're laying in bed sick and they looking their worst. I'm talking about the love of the inner man, the inner person.
Okay, let me ask you this.
That's the kind of love, the unconditional, the love that even when you're mad at them and you're pissed at them and they've made you freaking angry and you're ready to scream, but you never walk away because the love that you have for that person makes you not want to leave them. I'm talking about the deep love. I'm not talking about the superficial love.
I like how you talk your movie out. That's a great movie. Now listen to what I'm saying to you. If you were listen. If you were counting from 1 to 5, or if you was doing your alphabets from A to E, tell me where you think what you're talking about right now. Where would you be at in the schematics of that? Would you be from 0 to 5 or A to E? Like where are you standing at? What number or what letter are you standing on for what you're talking about? Where you going to love somebody regardless if they sick and all that? Like where are you at on the chart?
So I guess 0 will be when you first meet them. So I'm not talking about 0 and I'm not talking about 1. So I guess I'm kind of closer to 4 or 5 because I'm talking about you're in the relationship with them.
Okay, so now, and that's just some business. You just got to know how to do good business the right way, correctly, because you meet on a physical realm. Everybody that talk that spirit stuff is like, homie, you heard about that. That's not your reality for real unless you're able to really get into that space. You're on a physical world. You're going to see somebody physically. And when you see them, you're going to lick your lips. If you're a woman, you're going to decide, do I want to give him my combination? And as a man, I'm going to think, what's that combination? It's a physical thing. I'm going to say what's up. You going to say what's up. Then we're going to move our piece from there. First, we got to interrogate each other. So what's your name? What's your name? What you like to eat? What you like to eat? What you like to drink? What you like to drink? That's the first dance. And depending on how the aesthetic goes to your eye, how you keep licking your lips, how you start manufacturing shit in your mind, start doing his own little thing on his own, you're going to start giving passes, excuses, you moving spaces. You don't know you're doing it unless you know you're doing it. And if you, as grown as you sound, then you know exactly what you're doing. So now, since we ain't accidentally doing nothing, it's all on purpose, now let's focus on that. So in order to get to 5, you got to pay attention to 0. You gotta respect how you said what's up, and you know when you said what's up, you was trying to fuck or be fucked. That's it. That's it. And if you say you wasn't, then you're fictitiously approaching other people backwards, because when they see you, they trying to fuck. Period.
So there
now,
you go.
That we
so
got
there
past
you go.
that.
I think that, in my personal opinion, I think that's the problem with a lot of relationships, because they start backwards. They start.
You think that's backwards?
Thinking about the sex and thinking about all the other stuff before they get to know the person. So when I first, when I first meet, so let me just say this. Let me say this. So when you meet someone, the first thing you see is the outer shell. That's what the 0. You see the outer shell, and you decide whether or not you want to approach them or not. And you're saying if you want the one to love the real you, don't wear all the makeup, this, that, and the other. Be the real you from the door. Be you. Be who you are.
Now you can put
from 0.
Don't misinterpret me. You can put on the makeup. Just understand what it is that you're saying. And I'm telling you, if you cosmetically rearrange yourself, you know why you're doing that. Now, you can play how you want to play with it. Now, you know why you're doing it. You know what you're covering up. You know what you're hiding. You know what you're trying to excel. You know what you're trying to over-embellish or whatever. You know what you're doing. I ain't got to accuse you of nothing. You know what you're doing. And way before you ever did that, you never did that. And so now the reason why you're doing it, there's a reason. There's a reason. And if you exist on the planet, I'm quite sure somebody called you a name or told you something. So now you're fighting the stigma within yourself. So until you deal with why you think you ugly, why you think you out of shape, why you think you funny, until you really deal with that, until you deal with that for real, you got to respect how you're about to service yourself. So if you as a woman look at a man, it's a reason why you see him. And you can act like you just want to do something else, but what's your bottom line ticket? The bottom line. The bottom line. And you want them.
We have a caller on the line. So let me bring them in, because they probably want to say something to you. I'm about sure of that. So let me bring in this caller. Hello, caller. You have 470 in your number?
I do.
Hi. Tell us where your name and where you're calling from.
This is Robin, and I'm calling from Atlanta.
Hey, Rob. In the house.
Hi, Kimmy.
In the house. What would you like to add?
Minutes. I'm extremely sad in hearing this, and I'm a little weird. I get what the gentleman is saying with regards to what we have seen and what we have witnessed in the fairy tales and the movies and all of that. I get that part, because we can only acknowledge, or we can only create what we've been programmed to see our whole lives. And I do understand that some people, when they get married and stuff, they think of the white picket fence and the ceremony and the pomp and circumstance. But then when that's over, you wake up in the morning and you're looking at, oh my God, we're really in this thing. But I also want to just kind of go back and say, what the man and woman is looking for is companionship. And I don't want to ever be in a world where we're so jaded that we're walking around thinking, I'm just wearing these eyelashes so I can fuck, because I don't wear them, but I'm just saying that's just not the case. We need to go all the way back. Yes, I understand we're here in America and we've seen the lilies and the trees and all of this false stuff like Santa and Valentine's Day and all of that. I get that. But the bottom line is when we started, wherever we started, and I don't want to go in the whole God prophecy because some people might not be on that level, but when all of this started, it started out as man and woman, and we are partners. We're in a team. You know what I mean? So I just can't relate to the energy of the gentleman speaking because, I mean, do we not have a soul? Do we not have a spirit? Are we not a ball of energy? I mean, energy attracts energy. I mean, it's not a matter of walking about the world looking for someone to have sex with. It's so much more than that. The woman is an emotional person. She's a nurturer. She's a lover. These are things that God placed in us, you know. And the man, he's a natural hunter. He's looking for the lion. He's that man. He needs, you know, in to stroke him, to love on him. You know, all that's it. You know what I mean? Now, granted, people are living in a world where everything is superficial and everything's materialistic, and you got the Instagram and people, posing for the gram and putting up pictures that, you know, they really aren't happy. You know, they're just putting that up to get likes and shares and all of that. You know what I mean? I get that, but I don't ever want to live in a world where people just lose sight of companionship and love and the equal sharing of energy. That's pretty much all I have to say.
You know, Robin, I agree with you. And not only that, you know, I do agree with some of the things that gentleman said, but also I grew up where I've seen wonderful marriages. Hey. I've seen that, and like my great uncle and my great aunt, like my great grandmother's sister and her husband. You know, I asked him one time, I'm like, how long have y'all been married? Like over 50, 60 years, and I'm like, you know, what was it like? He said, you know, she was, you know, because my uncle was very, very, very handsome. And, you know, and he was like, and all the women was on me. So then I see this woman just walk past and just sashay, didn't give me the time of day. And I knew then that was going to be my wife. He said, and I courted her. I did the courting. You know, she made sure she knew who I was, and she made sure she knew what I was about, and that I was able to take care of her properly, because that's how she was raised. He said, and I did everything on my power to stay up on her expectations. He said, and she has made me extremely the happiest man in the world. Even when we found out the sad news that my auntie was barren, so she couldn't have any children. He said, and at that point, I had to make a choice. I mean, we could have always, you know, adopted, or so we helped my grandmother, because my grandmother had a lot of children, helped her with her children. It was like, but I loved her so much, it didn't matter if she could give me children. I just wanted her. So to me, I mean, and yes, because he was talking to a great niece that was 70 years younger than him, you know, so I would not expect him to be like, oh, but I couldn't wait to bone her and stuff. I mean, but to me, just the way he was talking and how he was looking and the gestures on his face, that was love. And that was he was just one of a lot of memories, of a lot of men in my family. I have a nephew who's 34. He met his wife when he was 14. She had just turned 15. He was like, oh, my God. I don't know what it is about her. I like her. Now, since he is younger, you know, I mean, I'm sure a lot of it, the physical attraction was there. But he met this girl at 14. He's 34. They've been married. Now, they were together for like 5, 6, 7 years. But by the time they were like 19, they were ready. By the time they was like 21, 22, they were married. And they are still the best of friends, and they're 34. Their marriage is solid. So I just don't think everything is sex. I don't.
I don't want to be misinterpreted.
So are you,
Madam Robin?
Yes, sir.
Pardon me for that. I want to salute Madam Robin for her wise input, because it's definitely what it is. And actually, everyone over here is speaking with such wisdom. And I think what also needs to be respected is the chart system of everyone's age. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You have some people that's a little more seasoned on the planet than others. So how they learned how to engage, it comes from a certain paradigm. If you was most of us, well, everybody's here from the 1900s. So rather you started it at the 50s, 60s, 70s, or 80s, you got to respect how that information kind of circulated and kind of allowed you to invest in the direction you went in. So started learning how to have relationships in the 50s, then you got to respect what it was, that paradigm of information. So on to the 60s, so on to the 70s. Once we got into the 70s, you got to think, wow, we're allowed to look at white people in the face. That changed the whole curriculum of the exchange rate, let alone just how the paradigm of life started moving, integration and all. It changes the language in so many levels. But what I was aiming to establish is we're on a physical plane, and no one breathing can escape. It's a physical attraction. It's a physical attraction, regardless of what else you're trying to also accomplish, and in addition to what you may be able to agree with, and keep that going for as long as you keep it going. If you negate that the physical is what allows you to say hello, then you're going to falsify the exchange rate, period. And I assure you, your nephew, go ahead, please.
What about people who have been in a fire and their face is disfigured? What about people who are disabled in wheelchairs or disformed? I can't get
I'm disabled.
With this physical thing. I am too, actually.
I'm disabled.
Right.
I'm disabled.
I am too.
I'm disfigured. I'm disabled. I'm disfigured, and I died. So what I'm saying is, I'm not challenging the emotions of people. I'm just letting you know we're on the planet. And on this planet, there's a way that you got introduced to living your life. And the way you sound right now, that's because you had a chance to navigate through all types of scenarios in order to get this type of language under your palate. Before this moment, you didn't speak this way. Just a couple hours ago, you sound a little bit different about the same subject matter. And it all depends on where you were standing at in the exchange rate. For those of us that got injured and people can see beyond the injury, that's fair. But still, we got to respect we're on a physical plane. And for those of us that's choosing to heighten our awareness and get a little bit more in depth, and we try to take it into the concept of the spirits and these and that and forth, that's cool. That is a very fair exercise to get into, and you'll find a lot out about yourself. But the reality, it's a physical level. It's a physical realm.
So what about those people? I'm sorry, but what about those people who were not physically attracted to each other in the beginning? There are some people who there was not an instant attraction. In fact, there was nothing about that person that they were attracted to. They just liked talking to them. They was cool. They were friends, but never had that attraction. But then over time, once they got to know their spirit man, the man on the inside or the woman on the inside, outside the flesh, outside the makeup and all that kind of stuff, then all of a sudden there was an attraction, and all of a sudden there was love in whatever way you want to claim it, and then all of a sudden they knew that's who they wanted to be with. But it was not a fit. It was never from the door. I want to go on her.
Do they bottom line out? Does it bottom line out to a physical? Do they end up becoming physical?
Not always.
I'm asking a question. Hold on.
Always
Do they end up becoming physical?
I mean, I'm sure they end up becoming physical.
Which topic are we holding on? Are we still trying to play relationship, or are we just playing regular people?
So we're talking about relationships, but you said from 0 to 5.
Okay.
So 0, you said there has to be a physical attraction, and that the first thing you're thinking about is I want sexual or something physical.
No. I didn't say just sexual. No. That's your mind.
Well, maybe not sexual. Maybe not sexual. Take out sexual. Okay,
no, you ain't
so
take it out.
like I'm saying,
you got to take it out. But listen,
like I'm saying, what if there was not?
Let me tell you what I said.
What if there was not a physical attraction in that kind of way from the door? How did they get to love?
Stop. It's physical. You're dressed up in something. First of all, I'm gonna see. It goes like this. You gonna look at the shoes. You gonna look at the watch. You gonna look at the teeth. You gonna look at. Listen to what I'm telling you, beloved. If you try to negate this, you're a liar, and you need to go stand in your mirror. It's simple mathematics. Knock it off. So it's like this. And that's not an insult. That's just me talking out loud to me, so I don't get caught up
I don't
in
know
how
because
people
you sound
sound.
Robin. Maybe Robin should have said it because you talking nicer to Robin. Robin, say it for me.
Now listen, I'm not talking to anyone. I'm talking to me and my reality amongst the crowd of people. I'm acknowledging me. I'm just speaking in a general way because.
Get what you're saying. A man is to me. A man is always going to be what he natural. Well, I'm going to go there.
I didn't finish what I was saying first.
He is a hunter, or attraction, a natural attraction to the woman, or whatever it is that he's looking for. That's in him. That is in the man. Okay, and I don't want you to think that we don't necessarily understand how, after the wedding or after the honeymoon phase, people still come up against certain things. The man still looks at the woman. The woman still looks at the man. Okay? And even going back to the other lady who said, hear me, the other lady who said, okay, well, I looked at my elders and their relationship and how they were able to do it and stay together for 35 years. Well, you know what? In those relationships, they had some hard times. A lot of secrets are kept in the South, okay, or in certain places. They had some affairs. They had some cheating. They had some, I'm sick of looking at you. I want to see if I still got it. I'm going through a midlife crisis. They had all of that. But after that, were they able to come back together and solidify what got them together in the first place? And I don't believe, for me, and I respect what you're saying, sir, I don't believe it was sex. That is that bottom line of everything. I got you, you got me, and we in this together. And, you went out there and did that. Stay in that room for about a year. When I feel like I got this out my system, then we can come back and work on this thing. But I'm not going nowhere, and you're not going nowhere.
And what you're saying is absolutely,
and that is love.
Well structured. What you're saying is absolutely well structured. And no, it's not always love. It's business. It's business. You can sound it out as the word. Listen, I got you. It's business. It's business. It's business. Listen to me. To even approach anyone, you must approach it to do good business the right way, correctly. However you play it out, that's going to be your paradigm. Now, feel what I'm saying?
Let me bring in. We got another caller who I'm sure wants to call in, who wants to address this conversation. So let me bring them in. Caller, you have 337 in your phone number. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Did you decide you don't want to talk? Okay, one more time. One more chance, caller. Hello? Okay,
all right,
so
I don't know what happened. So like I was saying,
I don't know what happened.
It's all business. It's all about doing good business the right way, correctly. For our grandparents that had an opportunity to navigate into this situation, that was doing good business the right way, correctly. Not only that, you got to respect the time period and zone they was in. You weren't there, so to try to voice it like how, why, that's almost like that's like a backwards hustle to me. It's like that's not fair unless they gave you the blueprint, right? So each experience, if you recognize it for real, it's about business. It's a physical thing. It's physical. You're going to look. It's monetary. You feel me? It's money's involved. It's physical prowess is involved. And the bottom line, why you still got your youth on, if you in your youth, it's on some sexual shit. It's on some sexual shit.
So how do you explain the ones who fall in love, but they were not physically attracted to each other when they first met? That's what I'm trying to get you to
I don't even know those humans.
I understand
I don't know them.
You don't know
those
humans?
Because my peer group, when I was a young dude and we go to the mall, I know what we went to the mall for, and we wasn't going to buy clothes. And I know every chick that was in there with their bobby socks and the little hair to the side with all the lipstick on, they wasn't there buying no clothes either. So y'all just
so everyone, everyone that you've ever dated was somebody that you seen them and said, "Hey, I'm attracted to you. Let me get to know your name." It wasn't somebody that maybe you was just working with, and all of a sudden, after working together for a couple of months, you looked at them and you got to know each other, and your energy started liking them for who they were. It was never that. It was always physical first. You seen them and you liked them.
It didn't take me a couple months for me to know if I would be able to be attracted to you like that. It just took us a couple months to agree that we was finally going to communicate in that manner. So, yeah, we going to come in, I meet you, you meet me. And, no, we didn't come to meet each other per se. Now we're going to work together. I see you, you see me. You going to keep dressing up, I'm going to keep dressing up. You as a female, you want me to tell you, hey, you looking nice today. You don't want me to tell you you looking nice because you're going to do a lot of stupid shit for me to tell you that you looking nice. You're going to put on all this dumbass perfume that stinks and shit, and I'm going to have to tell you it smells good just so you'll feel all right. Because if I tell you you stink, you're going to feel funny. If I tell you you look funny how you're dressing up, you're going to feel funny.
So what about the ones that they didn't like each other at first? What about the ones who they didn't like each other at first?
Again, the physical nature takes on. It's timing and it's the space. Like, so what, you're not physically attractive. I'll learn how to get along with you just based off of this space. Trust me, this is real. And if you make a shenanigans out of it, it'll sound funny and all that. But the reality is that's part of the sickness that the consciousness of people play with. I'm giving an answer to resolve if it's a real question. If this is a shenanigan, then of course I'll be mocked afterwards and I'll be made fun of somehow, even though I still drop jewelry because I'm telling you my personal footsteps. I'm not trying to contest anyone and how they do their thing, but the reality from the world I've traveled through, from Hollywood to across seas, from New York to the South, from the East to the Midwest, whatever the case, it's like real life unfold on so many levels that it's physical. It is physical. It is a physical hello. It is a physical how you doing. It's a physical let's sit down. You may not be able to approach it on an intimate level ever so quickly, but you definitely know if the opportunity presents itself, you're going to say something. If the opportunity presents itself, you will exhibit yourself. You know what you're going to do. You know why you do it like you do it. And because you are a woman, you can't escape the physical world. You ain't even built that way yet. So now you got to respect the paradigm of just what is, unless you're another species, and I want to meet whoever it is that is another species, because that might help me grow up. But the reality of is, you're on planet Earth for about 50-something years, maybe 60 at best. And if that is the case, it's physical, baby. Now, you may have grown into some other things, but it's physical.
So Kim is being real quiet, she's real like I don't hear no breathing or nothing. So Kim, what are your thoughts with what he's saying? Because I'm hearing some silence over there. So what are your thoughts?
Well, one, we've had this conversation, the three of us. So clearly you don't remember who you talked. But what I've been saying is that as far as when we're talking about the love part, if we can go back to that for a minute, and I'm not going to be long-winded with it, is I say that love is the application of truth. It is who you are, what you do when you by yourself. You know, it never changes regardless of, you know, who's in your face, what type of relationship it is. You are always true to you. So it has nothing to really do with anybody else. I told somebody that years ago. I said, I love you, and it ain't got shit to do with you. They didn't know what to do with it. It don't have anything to do with you. That means I love you regardless of if you love me. I love you regardless of what you do, how you feel, whatever, how you think. It ain't got shit to do with you. It's me being real to me all of the time. So I'm going to always give you that. And I think that's kind of what he's saying. If you're not being real with yourself, if you're not loving yourself in reality, you cannot love anybody else in reality because you have already established a foundation, a fake foundation. You know, we talk about that too. It's about the representative. Your representative is a misrepresentative. That's a being that shows up in the mirror. That's the being that sound like you, talk like you, walk like you, show up in your clothes, have conversations with other people or whatever, but that ain't you. If you shut that representative down, you confront that representative and acknowledge the fact that you fucked up, or acknowledge the fact that, yes, like you said, that you a liar, or whatever the case is, then that's you. And if you can operate in that knowledge of true self, then you can love you. Then you can love other people because you love you in truth. That is the application. Love is the application of truth. So it don't have nothing to do with nobody else. Period.
So we have another caller. So let me put this caller in. Caller, your number is 647. Please tell us your name, where you're calling from, and what your thoughts are about the topic.
Good evening. How you doing? This is Patrick. How are you?
Hey, Patrick.
I'm sorry. I didn't intend to push one. I'm just listening. I'm coming in kind of late, but so I'm just listening. I'm listening to the conversation. So I don't even know what the topic is, but it's a good conversation, nonetheless.
Okay. So, sir, the other gentleman that me and you've been low-key fussing, can you tell him, catch him up so that he can agree or disagree with what you're saying?
Are you asking me?
Is he still? No, not you, Patrick. The other gentleman. I didn't catch his name. I forget his name.
I'm Digger Dane.
Digger.
And Patrick, how you doing,
Digger.
beloved? This is Digger. So what we were, I chimed in, I'm sure, at an awkward time. I think the topic was about something to do with love, then it started taking other veins, but I was explaining in full-blown detail. It's a physical concept out the gate. It's a physical concept. And so Kim had a very valuable point she just made. And when you able, the love she was speaking on of her own, it really doesn't have anything to do with the specificness of anyone or anything. It's just how she chooses to place that particular energy. It may be for no exchange rate at all. It's just she has an ability she's curated in herself that she likes to love things. It could be a table. It could be a person. It could be a sandwich. Like, she just wants to exercise that muscle in her mind. Love, right? It's her development. It's her thing. No one else can say it the way she's saying it, the way she says it, because she has a specific definition that she's saying it from. The general statement of the dialogue I was expressing to all the lady ears that was here is basically respect that it's a physical thing. If a man sees you, he sees you. And if you are presently there, you're going to get noticed. And 9 times out of 10, if you're there to be noticed, then you know that's why you showed up. So what adults have to do, as I was suggesting, is stop playing the games. Like, stop making funny sounds because you learn how to make sounds. That's weird. If you want to communicate, communicate. But by the time you say hello, you know what you're saying hello for. And like I told him, you're going to go through the interrogation process. And once you go through the interrogation process, you're going to find little small agreements in order to make this dialogue happen again. You're going to transfer numbers. You're going to say little cutesy words. And when men talk to women, it's a selection of words that's always going to be used when we're talking to men. So if me and the gentleman that just got on the phone, if you hear us talk as gentlemen, it will not sound like we would talk to y'all. We're going to have a selection of words that we're going to use, and they're going to come across a certain way, and he's going to understand exactly what it means, period. He's not going to misinterpret me. Right.
So, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Finish your sentence. I'm sorry.
No, you're not. You've been doing that all night. Go ahead, let Patrick speak, though.
No, I think so if you're talking about love in the context of a relationship, then I don't even think that's something like it's different for men and women. Like, for me, I'm not thinking about love or anything like that. There's other things that I'm thinking about in the context of a relationship when I meet a woman. It doesn't have anything to do with love. First, I want to get to know you and, be attracted, probably, and like you. That's the most important thing to me. Love will come, but liking somebody is cool with dudes. I mean, I think that's, in the beginning, liking is when he's happy to see you and take you out and hang out with you. You know what I mean? You know, like that's the most important thing. I think we get too caught up in that. And I think, you know, a lot of times women get too caught up in it. Like, do you love me? And this, if he likes you, leave it. As long as he's committed and you guys are going in the same direction, you know, he'll fall in love. The thing you don't want is him to fall in love with you and then for it to be a burden.
Word.
When you say be a burden, you mean for him?
Yeah,
the burden. Period. It'll be a burden for you. It'll be a burden for us because it's a skill set thing. You know how to make the sound and request. This is what he's saying. If like when a man sees a woman, the attraction is going to be there. I'm telling you, like you may not want to receive it the way you're hearing it because you've been playing with it all your life. You've been dodging it. You've allowed some people to get further than others with complimenting you and all type of things. And you know that you do that as women. You know what you're doing. It could be 10 men talk to you, and you're going to select which ones you allow to communicate with you. It could be 10 men trying to talk to you, but you're going to select which ones you allow to communicate with you. And then once that happens, again, the process is going to happen. You're going to go through the interrogation phase. You have to find out who's who. And once you start doing the interrogation phase, you're going to come up with a way to agree. You're going to say, me too. Yo, you drink water? I drink water too. I can't believe this. What else you be doing? Well, sometimes I go to sleep. Nah, this can't be. You be going to sleep? I be going to sleep. Damn, we got so much in common. What else you be doing? Well, after I sleep, sometimes I wake up. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. You heaven sent. You are heaven sent. I be waking up, too, when I go to time. So this is how you started off. Let me get your number. All right, I give you my number. You don't call me. I'm going to call you. You don't call me. I'm going to call you. And then what you want to say next? What's the next thing you want to say? Because you answered the immediate questions. Now what? Now you want to eat. You want to see what it looks like when you eat. Now you're trying to option out the combination. Like I said, you're trying to now see what. Because if you don't give that physical energy to him, then you're by yourself, shorty. Now you may have the exception. Somebody may overlook it for that brief moment. I'm gonna give you about a month. We're gonna play this just a little bit, baby. But no, we're not gonna play like that. And you can act like that if you want. You're only as cute as I say. I don't care how pretty you think you are. You're only as cute as I say. I'm the author. I'm the beholder. So I'm telling you the real shit. We're on a planet called Earth, whether it's flat or global. I'm telling you how it works. You are alive. You're shaped due to your mother and your father. You became something, however it works. Fall nice, if your ass fall nice, if your thighs fit good, if your neck is long. I don't know. But everybody got their own personal fetish thing. But what I know is the hymns to the hers, it's a physical reality that you can grow into something. The concept of love is not nothing you just throw out there just on the strength because you don't even know what to do with it. That's why it sounds like it sounds right now. The gentleman Franklin is very true. Let me like you. If I like you, that might outweigh your love. Because I remember when I was married. I remember my wife, she loved me. I was a dirty little duke, though. I was wilding out. Because I didn't know what it was to be married. I just knew I had a wife. I was still me, though. So I can remember her telling me, I love you, but I do not like you. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to trade. Hey, let me here take the love shit back. Give me the light. I want the light back because when a motherfucker don't like you, ain't no exchange rate going on, baby. Mm-hmm. You're not cool. You gotta tolerate somebody, even if you love them. If you don't like them, you're not friends for real at that point. You understand me? And so the reality is, think about how you're positioning yourself. So when you ask questions, your right answer. But if you coming in with your masquerade on, trying to be all funny and stuff, that's the experience you're going to walk away with. It's simple mathematics. You're in a physical world. You're trying to present yourself attractively. You dressed up. You put your fragrances on, like I said. You got your weave in. If you don't got your weave, you went natural. It's one of the two. You either makeup or you natural.
I respect what you're saying, but I still don't all the way agree. I agree to a degree. There's some things that you're saying that I do agree.
Because of how you operate your real relationship. Think about how you liked all the people you don't have around you no more. Think about all them niggas you shared your goodies with that don't never talk to you no more. Think about that. Just before you say it out loud, just think about your conduct.
Well,
think about how you wait before this moment. Wait before this moment. Just listen. Before this moment. Because you was a young girl. You thought you was the shit at some point in your stride, shorty. You had to. You're on the planet. Because you think you got girlfriends. And I know them motherfuckers had to tell you some shit. You had to think you was something at some point. Otherwise, you walked around thinking you was the ugly duckling all your life. It's one or the other, yo.
Mm-hmm.
Identify with how you really practice yourself.
So I agree with some of the things that y'all saying as far as, you know, it being physical, whatever. But I also know relationships where there was never any sex and there was not a physical attraction from the beginning, but love grew over time, but only after we got to know each other. I mean, that's my reality. So your reality.
What was the love though? When you say that. When you say that, what are you seeing in the context that you're saying it in? Because I'm not sure that I'm translating what you're saying correctly. I'm sure you got a valid.
I wasn't at 0, because we did the numbers from 0 to 5, right? At 0, there was no attraction. There was just, hey, what's going on? What's good? Let's do this. Let's do this business. Let's do this work. Let's do whatever brought us together. There was not a physical. Ooh, I like him. Ooh, I want to get to know him. Nothing like that. But then by number 3, it's like, hey.
I think you're not using physical right. I think you're not using physical right. I think you're misinterpreting, or you're using it in a way that you don't have to be responsible for it.
You've never become attracted to somebody that you thought was ugly when you first met him?
Nah. If I thought you was ugly,
Patrick,
you feel me? If you was ugly, you was ugly. Now, if you was a kind person, hold on. Let me answer you.
No, you already said no.
No. Hold on. Let me complete. No. I'm gonna complete my state. Hold on, Patrick. I'm gonna complete what I'm saying. You're talking to a man, beloved. You're talking to a man that's done very well with the women energy. So I'm going to educate you because I can tell you've been crippled in your stride somewhat. I'm trying to help you while you still got some time on the chart.
We got 1 minute and 20. Listen, we got 1 minute and 23 seconds, so say it really quick.
Okay.
Because Blog Talk will cut us off.
Like I was saying, I think the way that you're saying it is kind of being askew so you can hear it or say what you want to say versus it. The reality is this. It's a physical world. You say hello and you do right with it. That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
All right.
Make
it
a business. You LLC in your hello.
And 1 quick second. Well, you probably, we might have to continue this next week because you're not going to ever get it out.
Exactly.
I love this conversation, and yeah, we're not going to be able to get it out. So we'll have to continue this next week, y'all, because I got to be able to finish saying what I was saying, and I know Digger Dane want to finish what he's saying, and I really want to hear what Patrick said. So can we have a part 2 of this next Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? Because I really would like to continue this. I appreciate everybody for calling in. Thank y'all for being a part of the conversation, and we're going to continue this next week because we gotta finish it next week. I want to move on Unscripted, y'all.
Get the They tryna figure out why you got me on top. Oh no, no, that